Friday, June 19th, 2026. Today's world news headline summary. 1. CNN. 1-1. U.S. and Iran sign deal to end war and reopen Strait of Hormuz. The United States and Iran have officially signed a 14-point memorandum of understanding designed to end military operations and stabilize the volatile Middle East. This landmark agreement ensures the immediate lifting of naval blockades on Iranian ports, paving the way for the reopening of the crucial Strait of Hormuz. Additionally, the deal facilitates the release of frozen Iranian assets, injecting much-needed capital into the nation's heavily sanctioned economy. Over the next 60 days, both nations have firmly committed to engaging in comprehensive negotiations to address international concerns regarding Iran's nuclear program. Diplomatic sources express cautious optimism that this breakthrough could precipitate a broader ceasefire across all regional fronts. Vocabulary. Volatile. Adjective. 변동성이 큰, 불안정한. The stock market has been highly volatile recently. Landmark. Adjective. 획기적인, 역사적인. The two leaders signed a landmark peace treaty today. Blockade. Noun. 항구 등의 봉쇄. The naval blockade prevented supplies from arriving. Facilitate. Verb. 촉진하다, 용이하게 하다. The new software will facilitate better team communication. Sanction. Verb. 제재를 가하다. The country was heavily sanctioned for human rights violations. Comprehensive. Adjective. 포괄적인, 종합적인. The committee conducted a comprehensive review of the policy. Optimism. Noun. 낙관론, 낙관주의. There is cautious optimism about the economic recovery. Precipitate. Verb. 촉발시키다, 재촉하다. The assassination precipitated the outbreak of the war. 시사용어 해설. Memorandum of Understanding. MOU. 양해각서. 국가 간 혹은 기업 간의 정식 조약이나 계약을 맺기 전에 양측의 합의 내용을 기록하는 예비 문서입니다. 법적 구속력은 약하지만 협력이 기초를 다지는 매우 중요한 외교적 장치입니다.
1-2. Trust in CDC has fallen dramatically in the last year. A new SSRS public opinion poll indicates a dramatic decline in Americans' trust in federal and local public health agencies over the past year. Only 50% of U.S. adults now report trusting health recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, a steep drop from 77% recorded in the spring of 2025. This erosion of public confidence is not isolated to the federal level, as trust in state health departments similarly fell from 80% to 66%. Trust in local public health departments also experienced a notable decrease, plunging from 82% to 70%. Health experts attribute this widespread disillusionment to recent changes in federal leadership and inconsistent messaging during ongoing public health crises. Vocabulary. Dramatically. Adverb. 극적으로, 급격히. The weather has changed dramatically since this morning. Recommendation. Noun. 권고, 추천. I bought this laptop based on my friend's recommendation. Steep. Adjective. 가파른, 급격한. There has been a steep increase in housing prices. Erosion. Noun. 약화, 침식. The scandal led to an erosion of trust in the government. Isolated. Adjective. 고립된, 국한된. The incident was not an isolated case, but a systemic issue. Plunge. Verb. 곤두박질치다, 급락하다. The company's stock value plunged after the bad news. Attribute. Verb. 모모의 탓독으로 돌리다. She attributes her academic success to hard work. Disillusionment. Noun. 환멸, 각성. Rising taxes caused widespread disillusionment among voters. CSRT계 해설. CDC. Complex for Infection Disease Prevention, Tracking, Health Guidelines Preparation 등 미국의 핵심 연방보건기관입니다. 코로나19 팬데믹을 거치며 그 권고안이 전 세계 보건정책의 주요 기준점 역할을 했습니다.
1 to 3. CNN's All Access subscription launches on Prime Video in the U.S. CNN announced that its premium All Access streaming subscription is now officially available on Amazon's Prime Video across the United States. Customers can sign up for a comprehensive content lineup, which includes 24/7 global live news channels, premium CNN originals, and award-winning documentary films. The subscription is strategically priced at $6.99 per month, offering viewers an introductory annual plan for enhanced value. Executives stated that expanding to Prime Video is a natural extension of CNN's core strategy to make their world-class journalism accessible wherever audiences prefer to engage. Furthermore, subscribers will gain full access to exclusive subscriber-only content on CNN.com by utilizing their Amazon credentials. Vocabulary. Subscription. Noun. 구독료. I canceled my magazine subscription to save money. Lineup. Noun. 진용. Lineup. The festival boasts an impressive lineup of musicians. Strategically. Adverb. 전략적으로. The new store is strategically located near the station. Introductory. Adjective. 입문용에, 출시 기념에. They are offering an introductory price for new members. Accessible. Adjective. 접근 가능한. The building was modified to be easily accessible for wheelchairs. Engage. Verb. 참여하다, 관여하다. We encourage all students to engage in class discussions. Exclusive. Adjective. 독점적인, 배타적인. The website offers exclusive interviews with celebrities. Credentials. Noun. 자격 증명, 로긴 정보. Please enter your login credentials to access the system. 시사 용어 해설. Streaming subscription, 스트리밍 구독 모델. 넷플릭스나 아마존 프라임처럼 매월 일정한 요금을 내고 디지털 미디어 콘텐츠, 뉴스, 영화 등을 인터넷을 통해 무제한으로 시청하는 비즈니스 모델을 뜻합니다. 전통 언론사들도 생존을 위해 이 모델로 빠르게 전환하고 있습니다. 2. BBC 2.1. BBC News braces for major round of job cuts. The BBC has initiated a sweeping round of job cuts and program mergers across its news division in an urgent effort to save £25 million. This severe restructuring represents the initial phase of a monumental £500 million cost-saving drive imposed upon the public broadcaster. High-profile casualties of these cuts include The World Tonight, a deeply respected radio program that has broadcast for 56 years, alongside several other award-winning current affairs shows. Linear television schedules will also endure noticeable reductions, with BBC News 24 heavily deployed to fill emerging programming gaps. Industry analysts emphasize that this underlying financial crisis stems directly from years of government-mandated freezes on the universal license fee. Vocabulary. Sweeping. Adjective. 광범위한, 전면적인. The new mayor promised sweeping changes to city policy. Restructuring. Noun. 구조조정. The failing company underwent a massive financial restructuring. Casualty. Noun. 희생자. 피해를 입은 것. Small businesses were the main casualties of the recession. Endure. Verb. 견디다. 인내하다. The marathon runners had to endure extreme heat. Deploy. Verb. 배치하다. 효율적으로 사용하다. The military plans to deploy additional troops to the region. Underlying. Adjective. 근본적인. 밑에 있는. Stress is often the underlying cause of many physical illnesses. Mandate. Verb. 의무화하다. 명령하다. The law mandates that all passengers wear seatbelts. Freeze. Noun. 동결. 가격, 임금 등. The union negotiated a temporary freeze on job cuts. 시사용어 해설. License fee. TV 수신료. 상업 광고에 의존하지 않고 공영방송의 정치적, 자본적 독립성을 유지하기 위해 텔레비전을 보유한 가구에 부과하는 시청료입니다.
수신료 동결은 물가 상승률을 반영하지 못해 방송사의 막대한 재정 악화를 초래합니다. 2.2. Mangrove forests staging unexpected comeback globally. In an encouraging environmental development, a new scientific study highlighted by BBC News reveals that the world's mangrove forests are staging an unexpected comeback. Historically, these crucial coastal ecosystems faced rapid devastation as vast areas were cleared for commercial fish farms and lucrative housing projects. However, intensified global conservation efforts have successfully reversed this long-standing trajectory. The comprehensive report indicates that the planet is now actually gaining more mangroves than it has been losing. Because mangroves are exceptionally effective at absorbing carbon dioxide and shielding coastlines from extreme weather, this ecological revival provides a vital defense against climate change. Vocabulary. Comeback. Noun. 제기, 부활. The fashion style from the 90s is making a huge comeback. Devastation. Noun. 파괴, 황폐화. The hurricane brought massive devastation to the coastal town. Lucrative. Adjective. 수익성이 좋은, 돈이 되는. She decided to accept a highly lucrative job offer overseas. Reverse. Verb. 역전시키다, 뒤집다. The new CEO quickly reversed the declining sales trend. Trajectory. Noun. 궤적, 궤도. The rocket is currently on a stable trajectory toward the moon. Exceptionally. Adverb. 유난히, 특별히. The exam was exceptionally difficult this semester. Shield. Verb. 보호하다, 방패가 되다. The ozone layer shields the Earth from harmful solar radiation. Revival. Noun. 부활, 재생. The city is experiencing an economic and cultural revival. 시사 용어 해설. Blue carbon. Blue carbon. 갯벌, 맹그로브 숲, 해초류 등 해양 생태계가 흡수하여 저장하는 탄소를 뜻합니다. 육상의 숲, 그린 카본보다 탄소 흡수 속도가 월등히 빨라 전 지구적 탄소 중립을 위한 핵심 자원으로 꼽힙니다. 2-3. BBC pulls Ashley Cain documentary over misogynistic remarks. The BBC has abruptly pulled a highly anticipated documentary series featuring presenter Ashley Cain after unsettling revelations surfaced regarding his history of abusive and misogynistic comments. Network executives had previously lauded Cain for his charismatic ability to connect with young male demographics. However, in a candid statement, the BBC admitted that their required background vetting processes had clearly failed to flag his completely unacceptable past social media activity. The broadcaster unequivocally stated it has no plans to air the new season of Ashley Cain Into the Danger Zone and has severed all future professional ties with him. This controversy has prompted an urgent internal review to significantly strengthen protocols for vetting external production talent. Vocabulary. Abruptly. Adverb. 도련. 갑자기. The meeting ended abruptly when the fire alarm rang. Unsettling. Adjective. 불안하게 만드는. I received some very unsettling news about my health today. Misogynistic. Adjective. 여성 혐오적인. The director apologized for his outdated and misogynistic remarks. Laud. Verb. 칭찬하다. 극찬하다. The teacher lauded the student for his brilliant essay. Candid. Adjective. 솔직한. 숨김없는. Let's have a candid conversation about the project's failures. Vetting. Noun. 철저한 심사. 검증. The candidate passed a rigorous vetting process before hiring. Unequivocally. Adverb. 명백하게. 모호하지 않게. The president unequivocally condemned the violent attack. Sever. Verb. 관계를 끊다. 단절하다. The company decided to sever ties with the controversial supplier. 시사용어 해설. Vetting process. 사전 인사검증. 공직자. 연예인. 방송 출연자 등 대중에게 영향을 미치는 자리에 사람을 임명하거나 고용하기 전 과거 범죄 기록이나 논란이 될 만한 소셜미디어 발언 등을 철저히 조사해 리스크를 막는 과정입니다. 3. ABC Australia 3-1. Australian budget delivers small business CGT concessions. The Australian Prime Minister and Treasurer Jim Chalmers have unveiled the next steps of an ambitious national budget focused heavily on cutting taxes for working Australians and reinforcing small enterprises. A major highlight of the announcement is the substantial expansion of the Active Asset Capital Gains Tax, CGT, concession for existing small businesses. The government will decisively increase the business turnover threshold from $2 million to $10 million, allowing significantly more owners to utilize the 50% tax discount. Chalmers emphasized that these strategic tax reforms aim to better align the tax treatment of asset and labor income to foster economic resilience. The policy reaffirms the government's strong commitment to backing Australian small businesses as the foundational backbone of the economy. Vocabulary. Unveil. Verb. 새로운 계획 등을 발표하다. The tech giant will unveil its latest smartphone model tomorrow. Reinforce. Verb. 강화하다, 보강하다. Extra concrete was used to reinforce the building's foundation. Concession. Noun. 감면, 특혜, 양보. The tax concession encouraged more foreign investment. Decisively. Adverb. 단호하게, 결정적으로. The general acted decisively to prevent an enemy advance. Threshold. Noun. 한계점, 문턱. If your income falls below this threshold, you pay no tax. Utilize. Verb. 활용하다, 이용하다. We must figure out how to utilize the available resources. Align. Verb. 일치시키다, 나란히 맞추다. The new curriculum is aligned with the national education standards. Resilience. Noun. 회복력, 탄력성. The economy showed remarkable resilience following the pandemic. 시사유머 해설. Capital Gains Tax, CGT, 자본이득세. 부동산, 주식 혹은 사업체 자체를 매각했을 때 처음 샀을 때보다 가격이 올라서 얻게 된 차익에 대해 매기는 세금입니다. 소상공인에게 이 세금을 깎아주면 이들이 사업을 키우고 재투자할 여력이 생겨 경제 활성화에 도움이 됩니다. 3-2. Guardian Australia's Matilda Boseley wins major Walkley Award. Matilda Boseley, a talented reporter for Guardian Australia, has been awarded one of the highest honors at the prestigious 2026 Walkley Mid-Year Media Prizes. Boseley proudly took home the Young Journalist Award for Innovative Storytelling, receiving widespread acclaim for her multi-platform political explainer series, Parliamentee. This engaging video series effectively demystifies the chaotic intricacies of Australian politics for digital native younger audiences. Alongside Boseley, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, dominated several categories. An ABC investigative team notably won the Women's Leadership in Media Prize for a rigorous 7-month exposé. Their reporting uncovered a prominent Melbourne gynecologist who repeatedly performed completely unnecessary surgeries on vulnerable patients. Vocabulary. Prestigious. Adjective. 권위 있는, 명망 있는. Winning the Nobel Prize is a highly prestigious achievement. Innovative. Adjective. 혁신적인. The startup gained attention for its innovative software design. Explainer. Noun. 해설. 영상. 기사. The news site posted an excellent explainer on inflation. Demystify. Verb. 이해하기 쉽게 해주다. The author wrote a book to demystify complex scientific theories. Intricate. Adjective. 복잡한. 얽힌. The watch features an incredibly intricate mechanical design. Rigorous. Adjective. 철저한. 엄격한. The new drug must pass rigorous safety testing before approval. Exposé. Noun. 폭로기사. 고발보도. The journalist published a shocking exposé of corporate fraud. Prominent. Adjective. 저명한. 두드러진. He is a highly prominent figure in the medical community. 시사유머 해설. Walkley Awards. 워클리상. 호주에서 저널리즘 분야의 우수성을 기리기 위해 수여되는 최고의 권위를 가진 언론상입니다. 미국의 퓰리처상, 폴리처 프라이즈와 비견되며 탁월한 탐사 보도나 혁신적인 미디어 콘텐츠를 제작한 기자들에게 수여됩니다. 3-3. Pauline Hanson's firm stance on immigration at Press Club. Senator Pauline Hanson, leader of the One Nation Party, delivered a forceful manifesto on immigration and national identity during her highly anticipated address at the National Press Club. Hanson unequivocally argued that the nation's rapid population growth, driven largely by high immigration rates, is fundamentally undermining the everyday quality of life for Australians. She explicitly linked this massive influx to severe domestic crises, particularly worsening housing shortages, congested infrastructure, and urban gridlock. Political commentators like Adam Creighton supported her core economic assertions, noting that countries like Canada are already drastically slashing immigration to preserve national identity and alleviate domestic pressures. Observers believe her uncompromising stance remains ahead of the curve as public frustration over cost of living issues intensifies. Vocabulary: forceful. Adjective: 단호한, 강력한. The president delivered a forceful speech defending his policies. Manifesto. Noun: 성명서, 정책선언. The party published its election manifesto detailing tax cuts. Unequivocally. Adverb: 단호하게, 명백히. She unequivocally denied all the allegations made against her. Undermine. Verb: 훼손하다, 약화시키다. Constant criticism will eventually undermine his self-confidence. Influx. Noun: 많은 사람 자금의 유입. The town experienced a huge influx of tourists this summer. Congested. Adjective: 혼잡한, 붐비는. The highway was heavily congested due to a major accident. Gridlock. Noun: 교통정체, 교착 상태. The negotiations reached a gridlock with neither side yielding. Uncompromising. Adjective: 타협하지 않는, 단호한. He maintained an uncompromising attitude during the debate. 생활비 위기. Cost of living crisis. 물가 상승, inflation. 과 주거비 폭등으로 인해 일반 서민들이 기본적인 의식주를 해결하는 데 심각한 경제적 부담을 느끼는 현상을 말합니다. 이민자가 급증하면 주택 수요가 늘어 집값이 오르기 때문에 이민 정책은 경제 문제와 직결되곤 합니다. 4. The Korea Times 4. 1. Ruling PPP to file petitions challenging local election results. The ruling People Power Party, PPP, declared its intention to file official election petitions with the national watchdog to challenge the controversial outcomes of the June 3 local elections. This unprecedented legal action is motivated by a severe logistical failure, specifically a massive shortage of official ballots reported at multiple polling stations, which has sparked 13 consecutive days of public protests. PPP leader Jang Dong-hyuk defended the move as a necessary step to uphold strict democratic principles, aiming to force a nationwide revote. However, this blanket decision has ignited internal friction within the conservative bloc. Critics within the party argue it is politically absurd to challenge results in crucial battlegrounds, like Seoul, where incumbent PPP mayor Oh Se-hoon successfully secured a historic fifth term. Vocabulary: petition. Noun: 소청, 탄원서, 소장. The citizens signed a petition demanding cleaner air. Watchdog. Noun: 감시단체, 감독기관. The financial watchdog monitors banks for illegal activities. Unprecedented. Adjective: 전례 없는. The pandemic caused unprecedented disruptions to global travel. Logistical. Adjective: 실행상해, 물류해. Organizing the giant festival presented many logistical nightmares. Consecutive. Adjective: 연이은, 연속적인. Our team won the championship for 4 consecutive years. Uphold. Verb: 지키다, 수호하다. The judge swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. Friction. Noun: 마찰, 불화. The unfair distribution of wealth caused friction in society. Incumbent. Noun: 현직자, 책임자. The incumbent senator easily defeated his inexperienced rival. 시사용어 해설. Election petition. 선거 소청, 이의 제기. 선거의 투표 및 개표 과정에서 심각한 위법 행위나 치명적인 관리 오류, 투표용지 부족 등가 발생했을 때 정당이나 후보자가 선거구 선거관리위원회나 대법원에 선거 결과를 무효로 해달라고 공식적으로 요구하는 법적 절차입니다. 4.2. Overcharging hotels risk losing star rating under new rules. The Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism has issued an advance public notice of highly revised guidelines aimed at heavily penalizing tourist hotels caught exploiting customers with excessive pricing. Under these new disciplinary rules, accommodations found guilty of blatant price gouging will face a devastating 30-point deduction in their official star rating evaluations. Because the point threshold separating a 4-star and 5-star rating is remarkably narrow, often merely a 100-point gap out of 1,000, this harsh penalty could easily strip a hotel of its coveted luxury status. Officials emphasized that this 30-point hit is 3 times heavier than sanctions for other critical violations, such as sanitary failures or fire safety hazards. The strict policy directly responds to public outrage over astronomical room rates during major events like the BTS concerts in Busan. Vocabulary. Penalize. Verb. 처벌하다. 페널티를 주다. The referee penalized the team for wasting time. Exploit. Verb. 착취하다. 부당하게 이용하다. The factory was accused of exploiting child labor. Disciplinary. Adjective. 징계. 규율해. The committee took disciplinary action against the corrupted official. Blatant. Adjective. 노골적인. 뻔뻔스러운. It was a blatant violation of international human rights laws. Deduction. Noun. 공제. 감점. You will face a point deduction if you submit the essay late. Threshold. Noun. 한계점. 문턱. The pain reached a threshold she could no longer endure. Coveted. Adjective. 탐내는. 갈망하는. He finally won the highly coveted championship trophy. Astronomical. Adjective. 천문학적인. 어마어마한. The cost of repairing the bridge was simply astronomical. 시사 용어 해설. Price gouging. 가격 폭리. 바가지 요금. 재난 상황. 유명 가수의 대형 콘서트. 명절 연휴 등 수요가 폭증하는 특정 기간을 노려 상인들이 물건이나 숙박요금을 평소보다 비정상적으로 높게 올려받는 상수를 의미합니다. 시장 질서를 교란하여 법적 규제의 대상이 되기도 합니다.
4.3. Ministries clash over whether to call North Korea principal enemy. A rare and highly visible policy divide has erupted within the South Korean government over how to officially classify North Korea in the upcoming 2026 Defense White Paper. On Thursday, the Ministry of Unification openly challenged the Ministry of National Defense's long-standing position of labeling Pyongyang as the nation's principal enemy. A Unification Ministry official argued that strictly defining the North as a primary adversary cannot be logically reconciled with the Lee Jae-myung administration's ultimate goal of peaceful inter-Korean coexistence. However, just hours later, the Defense Ministry firmly rejected rumors that it would drop the enemy designation. A military spokesperson bluntly stated that their fundamental stance, viewing the North Korean regime and its military as a direct threat, remains absolutely unchanged. 5. The Korea Herald. 5-1. Kospi breaks above 9,000 milestone on semiconductor rally. The South Korean benchmark stock index, the Kospi, successfully breached the historic 9,000-point threshold during Thursday's intraday trading session. Financial analysts unanimously attribute this monumental market achievement to a ferocious rally powered by domestic semiconductor heavyweights. As global demand for cutting-edge artificial intelligence hardware continues to skyrocket, tech-centric Korean corporations are reaping massive financial benefits. This profitability is driving both domestic institutional and foreign investments to unprecedented heights. Although nagging macroeconomic headwinds, such as a strong US dollar and prolonged oil price hikes, continue to pose risks, the tech sector's robust earnings have thoroughly overshadowed these broader economic anxieties. Vocabulary. Benchmark. Noun. 기준점. 지표. This index serves as a benchmark for the overall economy. Breach. Verb. 돌파하다. 깨다. The floodwaters finally breached the high concrete wall. Intraday. Adverb. Adjective. 장중에. 하루 동안에. Intraday trading requires constant monitoring of the stock charts. Ferocious. Adjective. 맹렬한. 흉포한. The team faced ferocious competition during the finals. Heavyweight. Noun. 거물. 대형주. 주식. Tech heavyweights dominated the stock market gains today. Skyrocket. Verb. 급등하다. 치솟다. The cost of living has skyrocketed in the metropolitan area. Headwind. Noun. 역풍. 악재. Rising inflation is a major headwind for small businesses. Overshadow. Verb. 무색하게 만들다. 가리다. Her brilliant acting overshadowed everyone else in the film. 시사 용어 해설. Rally. 랠리. 상승장.
주식이나 채권 시장에서 가격이 하락하거나 정체되어 있다가 갑자기 강한 매수세가 몰리며 가격이 며칠 혹은 몇 달에 걸쳐 지속적으로 크게 오르는 현상을 말합니다.
5-2. South Korea sees heat-related ER visits rise sharply. South Korea is bracing for a brutal summer as authorities record 300 patients visiting emergency rooms for heat-related illnesses, a sharp, concerning increase from 192 cases during the exact same period last year. The Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency, KDCA, specified that severe heat exhaustion accounted for more than half of the incidents, closely followed by life-threatening heat stroke and heat syncope. Disturbingly, these emergency medical cases are affecting demographics across the board, proving that young adults are not immune to the extreme temperatures. With meteorological agencies projecting hotter than usual conditions persisting through August, local governments are initiating proactive safety protocols. Notably, the Seoul Metropolitan Government has launched a campaign encouraging corporate employees to wear shorts to mitigate daily heat stress. Vocabulary. Brace for. Phrasal verb. 에 대비하다. The coastal residents are bracing for a massive hurricane. Heat exhaustion. Noun. 열탈진, 일사병. He suffered from heat exhaustion after working outside all day. Heat stroke. Noun. 열사병. Heat stroke is a medical emergency that requires immediate care. Syncope. Noun. 실신, 기절. Dehydration can sometimes cause unexpected syncope. Across the board. Adverb. 구전면적으로, 전반에 걸쳐. The company implemented salary cuts across the board. Immune. Adjective. 면역이 있는, 영향을 받지 않는. No one is entirely immune to the emotional effects of stress. Proactive. Adjective. 사전 예방적인, 주도적인. We must take a proactive approach to prevent cyber attacks. Mitigate. Verb. 완화하다, 경감시키다. Planting more trees can help mitigate the effects of pollution. 시사용어 해설. 열사병과 열탈진. 두 질환 모두 폭염 탓에 발생하지만 차이가 큽니다. 열탈진은 땀을 너무 많이 흘려 수분과 염분이 부족해지는 상태이며 열사병, heatstroke, 는 체온 조절 중추가 망가져 땀이 나지 않고 체온이 40도 이상으로 치솟아 즉시 치료하지 않으면 생명이 위험한 심각한 응급 상태입니다.
5-3. Korean hospitals dominate Newsweek's Asia-Pacific specialty rankings. South Korean medical institutions have demonstrated overwhelming excellence by thoroughly dominating Newsweek's latest Asia-Pacific specialized hospital rankings. According to the prestigious global evaluation, South Korean hospitals proudly claimed the top spot in 9 out of the 10 clinical specialties assessed across the entire Asia-Pacific region. Medical giants such as Asan Medical Center, Samsung Medical Center, and Seoul National University Hospital consistently secured the highest tiers in critical fields like oncology, cardiology, and endocrinology. This remarkable achievement underscores the nation's highly advanced medical infrastructure, cutting-edge surgical technologies, and exceptional quality of specialized patient care. Global healthcare analysts note that Korea's competitive medical ecosystem firmly establishes it as a premier destination for complex treatments. Vocabulary. Overwhelm. Verb. 압도하다. The army overwhelmed the enemy forces with superior firepower. Specialized. Adjective. 전문적인, 특수화된. He is a highly specialized engineer in robotics. Clinical. Adjective. 임상해, 병상해. The drug must undergo rigorous clinical trials before release. Specialty. Noun. 전문 분야, 전공. Her medical specialty is pediatric neurology. Tier. Noun. 등급, 계층. The university is considered top tier in the nation. Underscore. Verb. 강조하다, 밑줄을 긋다. The tragedy underscores the need for stricter safety regulations. Cutting edge. Adjective. 최첨단의. The laboratory is equipped with cutting-edge analytical tools. Premier. Adjective. 최고의, 제1의. This restaurant is the premier destination for fine dining. 시사용어 해설. Clinical specialty. 임상 전문 분야. 의학에서 실제로 환자를 진단하고 치료하는 세부 전문 과목을 의미합니다. 내과, 외과, 소아과 등 큰 범주 아래에 종양학, 암치료, 심장학, 심혈관 질환 등으로 세분화되어 고도의 전문성을 요구합니다.
6. CGTN 661. China expects 83 million rail trips over Dragon Boat Festival travel rush. China's national railway operator officially forecast a massive logistical surge, estimating approximately 83 million passenger trips during the upcoming 5-day Dragon Boat Festival holiday. The highly anticipated travel rush will span from Thursday to Monday, with Saturday projected to be the absolute peak day, accommodating roughly 19 million individual trips. By early Thursday morning, eager travelers had already snapped up over 40 million advance tickets through the official 12306 online ticketing platform. To effectively manage this staggering volume of travelers, the railway network has implemented an aggressive peak hour schedule, operating around 13,000 passenger trains daily. Furthermore, special overnight high-speed trains will be strategically deployed on major trunk lines connecting megacities to alleviate severe congestion. Vocabulary. Forecast. Verb 예측하다, 예보하다. Experts forecast a significant drop in temperatures next week. Logistical. Adjective 물류에, 수송에. Moving the equipment required complex logistical planning. Surge. Noun 급조, 밀려듦. There has been a massive surge in online shopping this year. Peak. Noun 형용사절, 절정에, 최고조. The highway is always jammed during peak rush hours. Snap up, phrasal verb, 접속사다, 낚아채다. Fans snapped up all the concert tickets within 10 minutes. Staggering. Adjective 엄청난, 믿기 힘든. The project's overall cost reached a staggering $2 billion. Deploy. Verb 배치하다, 투입하다. The police will deploy extra officers during the festival. Alleviate. Verb 완화하다, 경감시키다. He took an aspirin to alleviate the severe pain in his head. 시사용어 해설. Trunk line, 간선 노선. 사람이 몸에 비유하면 척추나 대동맥에 해당하는 주요 핵심 교통망을 말합니다. 베이징, 상하이 고속철도처럼 국가의 거대 도시들을 굵직하게 연결하여 가장 많은 물류와 인구가 이동하는 철도나 도로를 지칭합니다. Number 6. 2. U.S. Southern Command conducts strike on narco vessel. The United States Southern Command, SOUTHCOM, confirmed that its elite Joint Task Force Southern Spear successfully executed a lethal kinetic strike against a vessel operated by designated terrorist organizations. U.S. military intelligence had accurately identified the target ship in the Eastern Pacific as it transited along well-known narco-trafficking routes, heavily engaged in illicit smuggling operations. Authorized directly by General Francis L. Donovan, the precise military operation effectively neutralized the immediate threat, resulting in the elimination of 3 male narco-terrorists. The brief statement released by defense officials emphasized that absolutely no U.S. military personnel were harmed during the violent engagement. This assertive action underscores Washington's escalating military commitment to combating transnational organized crime in international waters. Vocabulary. Execute. Verb. 실행하다, 수행하다. The pilot flawlessly executed the complex emergency landing. Lethal. Adjective. 치명적인, 치사량의. The snake's bite delivers a highly lethal dose of venom. Transit. Verb. 통과하다, 수송하다. The cargo ship will transit the canal tomorrow morning. Illicit. Adjective. 불법적인, 위법의. The police arrested the gang for the illicit sale of weapons. Smuggling. Noun. 밀수. Border patrols are using dogs to stop drug smuggling. Neutralize. Verb. 무효화하다, 제압하다. The Special Forces team managed to neutralize the terrorists. Engagement. Noun. 교전, 전투. The soldiers retreated after a fierce engagement with the enemy. Transnational. Adjective. 초국가적인, 다국적인. Climate change requires transnational cooperation to solve. 시사용어 해설. Kinetic strike. 물리적 타격, 동력학적 공격. 사이버 해킹, 전파 교란, 심리전과 같은 비물리적 공격과 대비되는 군사용어입니다. 미사일, 폭탄, 총포 등 무기의 폭발력이나 파편의 직접적인 운동에너지를 사용하여 적의 목표물을 물리적으로 파괴하는 전통적인 공격 방식을 뜻합니다. 6.3. Global poll. 90% say Iran war exposes declining U.S. influence. Following the recent memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran, a global online survey conducted by CGTN reveals a striking shift in public perception regarding American power. According to the poll, an overwhelming 80% of international respondents believe that the prolonged U.S.-Israeli military operation against Iran failed to achieve its expected strategic objectives.
The respondents indicated that the intense 3-month conflict surrounding the Strait of Hormuz has instead glaringly exposed the reality of America's continuing decline in global strategic influence. At the outbreak of the fighting, Washington initially sought to forcefully reshape the regional order through limited military deterrence and maintaining regional dominance. However, analysts and the public alike conclude that this aggressive strategy has ultimately backfired, yielding meager political dividends. Vocabulary: perception, noun, 인식, 지각. The public's perception of the new policy is generally negative. Overwhelming, adjective, 압도적인. The proposal was passed with an overwhelming majority vote. Prolonged, adjective, 장기적인, 오래 끄는. He required hospital treatment after a prolonged illness. Objective, noun, 목표, 목적. Our primary objective is to increase sales by 20% this year. Glaringly, adverb, 적나라하게, 확연히. The errors in the financial report were glaringly obvious. Reshape, verb, 재편하다, 모양을 고치다. The invention of the internet fundamentally reshaped society. Deterrence, noun, 억지력, 저지. Nuclear weapons are often justified as a form of military deterrence. Backfire, verb, 역효과를 낳다. His clever plan to impress the boss completely backfired. 시사용어 해설, strategic influence, 전략적 영향력. 한 국가가 군사력, 경제력, 외교적 리더십, 소프트 파워 등을 총동원하여 타국이나 국제 질서의 흐름을 자국의 유리한 방향으로 이끌어갈 수 있는 능력을 말합니다. 동맹국을 보호하고 무역로를 통제하는 강대국의 핵심 역량입니다.
7. NHK World Japan. 7-1. Security in focus with World Cup underway in Mexico. With the highly anticipated 2026 FIFA Men's Soccer World Cup officially underway, intense security has become a paramount concern, particularly in the host nation of Mexico. Because the country struggles with persistent violence driven by powerful organized crime cartels, hosting a global mega sporting event presents unique and formidable logistical safety challenges. International supporters and participating national teams have voiced serious apprehensions regarding their safety while traveling between various match venues and accommodations. In strict response, Mexican authorities and World Cup organizers have aggressively stepped up comprehensive security measures, deploying thousands of heavily armed police and military personnel. These enhanced tactical protocols aim to guarantee an airtight protective bubble around stadiums and major tourist hubs throughout the tournament. Vocabulary: underway, adjective, 부사, 진행 중인. The rescue operation is currently underway in the flooded area. Paramount, adjective, 가장 중요한, 최고의. Passenger safety is of paramount importance to the airline. Formidable, adjective, 감당하기 힘든, 어마어마한. The home team proved to be a formidable opponent. Apprehension, noun, 우려, 불안. There is growing apprehension about the unstable economy. Step up, phrasal verb, 강화하다, 늘리다. The government must step up its efforts to reduce carbon emissions. Deploy, verb, 배치하다, 효율적으로 사용하다. The UN decided to deploy peacekeepers to the war zone. Tactical, adjective, 전술적인. The general made a brilliant tactical decision during the battle. Airtight, adjective, 빈틈없는, 완벽한, 기밀해. The lawyer prepared an airtight defense for his client. 4. 시사용어 해설, protective bubble, 보호막 안전버블. 스포츠 행사나 정상회담 등에서 참가자들의 안전을 보장하기 위해 외부와의 접촉을 완벽히 차단하고 그 안에서만 이동과 숙식을 해결하도록 통제하는 강력한 경호 및 방역 시스템을 뜻합니다. 7-2. Marcos in Tokyo. Japan, Philippines take relations to new level. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is currently visiting Tokyo as an official state guest, signaling a dramatic elevation in bilateral ties between Japan and the Philippines. NHK World reports that this high-profile diplomatic summit is primarily driven by mutual apprehension over China's increasingly aggressive maritime expansion in the South China Sea. The two democratic nations are rapidly deepening their defense and security cooperation to counter regional instability and protect crucial sea lanes. During the meetings, leaders from both sides are actively discussing not only massive economic investment packages, but also reciprocal troop access agreements to facilitate joint military exercises. Analysts view this budding alliance as a crucial geopolitical shift aimed at maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. Vocabulary: elevation, noun, 격상, 승진, 상승. His recent promotion marks an elevation in his social status. Bilateral, adjective, 양국의, 쌍방의. The two countries signed a bilateral trade agreement today. Maritime, adjective, 바다의, 해양의. The museum has a vast collection of maritime history artifacts. Deepen, verb, 심화시키다, 깊어지다. The crisis has helped to deepen the bond between the two allies. Counter, verb, 대응하다, 반박하다. We need a new strategy to counter the competitors' aggressive marketing. Reciprocal, adjective, 상호간의, 호혜적인. They signed a reciprocal agreement to reduce import tariffs. Facilitate, verb, 촉진하다, 용이하게 하다. A translator was hired to facilitate communication between the groups. Geopolitical, adjective, 지정학적인. The war caused a massive geopolitical shift in Eastern Europe. 티사 용어 해설, Reciprocal Access Agreement, RAA, 원활화 협정, 상호 접근 협정. 두 국가가 연합 군사 훈련이나 재난 구호 활동을 할 때 상대국의 군대와 무기를 빠르고 복잡한 심사 없이 파견할 수 있도록 법적 절차를 간소화하는 군사 협정입니다. 실질적인 준동맹 단계로 진입했음을 의미합니다.
7.3. Struggling with isolation in South Korea. Over the past 3 decades, more than 34,000 North Korean defectors have undertaken perilous escapes to South Korea, seeking refuge from the harsh, oppressive conditions in their homeland. However, achieving physical freedom has not automatically guaranteed a seamless life. Many profoundly struggle with severe social isolation. Adapting to South Korea's hyper-competitive capitalist structure and an overwhelmingly fast-paced digital culture remains a monumental, everyday hurdle for these newcomers. Furthermore, pervasive, subtle prejudices from locals and the heartbreaking absence of familial support networks frequently push defectors to the margins of society. Civic organizations and policymakers are increasingly emphasizing the urgent need for empathetic, tailored integration programs focused primarily on mental health and community building. Vocabulary: defector, noun, 탈주자, 망명자. The famous defector wrote a book about his escape from the regime. Perilous, adjective, 아주 위험한. They survived a perilous journey across the stormy ocean. Oppressive, adjective, 억압적인, 가혹한. The citizens finally rebelled against the oppressive government. Seamless, adjective, 매끄러운, 순탄한. The transition from high school to college is rarely seamless. Hurdle, noun, 장애물, 난관. Lack of experience was the biggest hurdle to getting the job. Pervasive, adjective, 만연한, 스며드는. Corruption is unfortunately a pervasive issue in that industry. Subtle, adjective, 미묘한, 감지하기 힘든. There is a subtle difference in flavor between the two coffees. Empathetic, adjective, 공감할 수 있는, 감정이입에. Good leaders are highly empathetic to their employees' needs. 시사 용어 해설, social isolation, 사회적 고립. 개인이 가족, 친구, 동료 등 주변 사람들과의 의미 있는 관계망, 네트워크에서 단절되어 외로움과 소외감을 느끼는 상태를 말합니다. 단순한 빈곤보다도 정신건강과 자살률 등에 더 치명적인 영향을 미치는 현대 사회의 큰 병폐입니다.
Number 8. AlJazeera.com. Number 8. 1. Zimbabwe bill to scrap presidential elections sparks backlash. Zimbabwean lawmakers have controversially approved Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 3, legislation explicitly designed to scrap direct presidential elections in favor of a vote conducted entirely by Parliament. The bill comfortably passed the National Assembly with a 216-42 vote and is widely expected to secure the required two-thirds majority in the Senate. Government ministers sponsoring the reform argue that replacing the popular public vote will significantly promote administrative efficiency and ensure long-term policy continuity. Conversely, civil society groups and ordinary citizens are fiercely pushing back, warning that stripping 15 million citizens of their voting rights constitutes a blatant, unconstitutional power grab. Opponents deeply fear the move will severely weaken democratic accountability and indefinitely entrench the ruling elite's authoritarian grip on power. Vocabulary. Scrap. Verb. 폐지하다. 버리다. The city council decided to scrap the unpopular parking fee plan. Backlash. Noun. 반발. 역포. The controversial law faced a massive backlash from the public. Conversely. Adverb. 반대로. 역으로. Some love the cold weather. Conversely, others completely despise it. Pushback. Phrasal verb. 반발하다. 저항하다. Workers are starting to push back against the unfair labor practices. Blatant. Adjective. 노골적인. 뻔뻔스러운. It was a blatant lie, and everyone in the courtroom knew it. Accountability. Noun. 책임. 의무. Politicians must ensure absolute transparency and accountability. Entrench. Verb. 단단히 자리 잡게 하다. The dictator manipulated laws to entrench his grip on power. Authoritarian. Adjective. 권위주의적인, 독재적인. The country has been ruled by an authoritarian regime for decades. 시사용어 해설. Indirect election. 간접 선거. 의회 선출제. 유권자, 국민이 직접 지도자를 뽑지 않고 국민이 뽑은 대리인, 국회의원 등이나 선거인단이 모여 대통령을 선출하는 제도입니다. 미국처럼 민주적인 시스템을 갖춘 곳도 있지만 짐바브웨 같은 개발도상국에서는 의회를 장악한 세력이 국민의 뜻을 묵살하고 영구 집권하기 위한 홈수로 악용되기도 합니다. 8-2. Israeli attacks on southern Lebanon kill 3 despite U.S.-Iran deal. Despite the newly signed historical interim agreement between the United States and Iran explicitly calling for a cessation of hostilities on all fronts, Israeli air attacks in southern Lebanon remain relentless. Lebanese state media reported that targeted Israeli drone strikes hit vehicles in towns like Kfar Tebnit, brutally killing at least 3 individuals. These lethal strikes occur precisely at a time when Israel faces intense international diplomatic pressure to honor the broader ceasefire framework and withdraw its occupying forces from Lebanon. However, hardline politicians within Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's domestic ruling coalition are fiercely resisting Washington's demands. They ardently argue that abandoning the Lebanese security zone poses an existential threat to Israel, insisting on maintaining maximum military force. Vocabulary. Cessation. Noun. 중단. 정지. The United Nations demanded an immediate cessation of violence. Hostility. Noun. 적대감. 적대 행위. 전투. Both nations agreed to end hostilities and begin peace negotiations. Relentless. Adjective. 가차없는. 수그러들지 않는. The relentless summer heat caused a severe drought. Honor. Verb. 약속, 의무 등을 지키다, 존중하다. The company failed to honor the terms of the signed contract. Framework. Noun. 틀, 체제, 뼈대. The leaders established a legal framework for international trade. Hardline. Adjective. 강경한, 타협하지 않는. The government took a hardline stance against drug traffickers. Coalition. Noun. 연합, 연립정부. The prime minister struggled to keep his fragile coalition together. Existential. Adjective. 존재에 관한, 실존적인. Climate change poses an existential threat to low-lying islands. T자. Existential threat, 실존적 위협. 국가나 단체 혹은 인류 전체의 존재 자체를 말살하거나 파괴할 수 있을 정도로 치명적이고 근본적인 위협을 뜻합니다. 주로 외교나 안보 분야에서 양보할 수 없는 최후의 방어선을 강조할 때 자주 쓰이는 수사적 표현입니다. 8-3. Why do AI models struggle with online hate speech detection? As the United Nations marks the International Day for Countering Hate Speech, A new analysis by Al Jazeera examines why artificial intelligence consistently falls short in detecting toxic online content. While automated AI models are increasingly tasked with swiftly identifying and removing hate speech across social platforms, they severely struggle to understand nuanced human context. Toxic communication is rarely straightforward. It often mutates into subtle slang, ironic memes, cultural references, and complex behavioral gestures that evade simple algorithmic detection. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres warned that unregulated algorithms are actually amplifying the threat rather than mitigating it. Tech experts conclude that achieving perfect automated filtering is impossible without diverse, unbiased training data and crucial human oversight. Vocabulary. Detect. Verb. 감지하다, 발견하다. The security system is designed to detect any unauthorized entry. Toxic. Adjective. 유독한, 악의적인. She left her job due to a highly toxic work environment. Automated. Adjective. 자동화된. The factory uses an automated assembly line to build cars. Nuanced. Adjective. 미묘한 차이가 있는, 뉘앙스가 있는. The actor delivered a highly nuanced and emotional performance. Straightforward. Adjective. 직설적인, 간단한. The instructions for building the furniture were straightforward. Mutate. Verb. 돌연변이가 되다, 변형되다. Viruses constantly mutate to evade the human immune system. Evade. Verb. 피하다, 모면하다. The criminal cleverly evaded the police for several months. Mitigate. Verb. 완화하다, 경감시키다. We must plant more trees to mitigate the effects of global warming. 시사 용어 해설. 알고리즘 탐지. 컴퓨터 프로그램이 미리 입력된 규칙, 욕설 사정 등이나 패턴 학습을 통해 불법, 유해 게시물을 자동으로 찾아내는 기술입니다. 하지만 사람들이 교묘하게 단어를 띄어쓰거나 은유를 사용하면 컴퓨터가 이를 인식하지 못하는 false negative, 한계가 뚜렷합니다. 9. CBC Canada. 9-1. Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault leaving politics. Stephen Guilbeault, Canada's federal environment minister and a globally recognized former climate activist, has shockingly announced his imminent departure from politics. In a candid statement, Guilbeault revealed that he can no longer exert a positive influence on the Trudeau government's current direction regarding national climate change policies. His resignation dramatically highlights a deep internal fracture over controversial federal moves, specifically advancing new oil pipeline construction and canceling consumer carbon tax initiatives. Once considered the progressive green face of the administration's battle against global warming, his exit deals a severe ideological blow to the government's environmental credentials. Political analysts predict this high-profile departure will energize critics, who fiercely argue the state is abandoning its emission reduction pledges. Vocabulary. Imminent. Adjective. 임박한, 목전에. The dark clouds warned us of an imminent thunderstorm. Departure. Noun. 떠남, 사임. His sudden departure from the team shocked everyone. Exert. Verb. 권력, 영향력을 가하다, 행사하다. Parents exert a strong influence on their children's values. Fracture. Noun. 골절, 분열, 균열. The intense debate caused a deep internal fracture within the political party. Advance. Verb. 진전시키다, 추진하다. The scientists are working hard to advance cancer research. Progressive. Adjective. 진보적인, 앞서가는. The new principal introduced highly progressive teaching methods. Credential. Noun. 자격, 신임장, 신뢰도. She holds impressive academic credentials from a top university. Energize. Verb. 활기를 띠게 하다, 열광시키다. The coach's passionate speech energized the exhausted players. 시사 용어 해설. 탄소세. 기업이나 가게가 화석연료, 석유, 석탄, 가스를 사용할 때 배출하는 이산화탄소의 양에 비례해 매기는 환경세금입니다. 화석연료 사용을 줄여 기후위기를 막자는 취지지만 주유비나 난방비를 직접적으로 올려 서민경제에 타격을 주기 때문에 선거철마다 폐지 논란에 휩싸입니다. 9-2. The Debaters season finale. Backyard versus front yard and traveling with kids. CBC Radio's hit comedy program, The Debaters, successfully wrapped up its season finale with a lighthearted yet fiercely comedic clash over quintessential summer dilemmas. The opening segment featured comedians Matt Wright and Patrick Dussault arguing passionately over whether the private sanctuary of a backyard is superior to a neighborhood-facing front yard. This was immediately followed by a highly relatable and hilarious debate regarding the harsh realities of summer family vacations. Comedian Julie Kim championed the pure joys of parenting on holiday, while opponent Sammy Fareed humorously countered that traveling with children often leaves exhausted parents needing a vacation from their vacation. The entertaining broadcast provided Canadian listeners with much-needed comic relief as they gear up for the summer months. Vocabulary. Lighthearted. Adjective. 가벼운 마음에. You can. We had a lighthearted chat over a cup of warm coffee. Quintessential. Adjective. 전형적인. 본질적인. Eating a hot dog at a baseball game is a quintessential American experience. Dilemma. Noun. 진퇴양난. 딜레마. The manager faced a terrible moral dilemma when firing the staff. Sanctuary. Noun. 안식처. 피난처. Her cozy bedroom became a quiet sanctuary from the noisy world. Relatable. Adjective. 공감대 형성이 쉬운. The main character's struggles in the movie were deeply relatable. Champion. Verb. 옹호하다. 대변하다. She has always championed the rights of minority groups. Counter. Verb. 반박하다. 대응하다. He smoothly countered her argument with hard statistical facts. Relief. Noun. 안도. 위안. 휴식. The cool breeze brought some welcome relief from the scorching heat. 시사용어 해설. Comic relief. 코믹 릴리프. 희극적 기분 전환. 원래 문학이나 영화에서 진지하고 슬픈 분위기가 계속될 때 긴장감을 풀어주기 위해 삽입하는 유머러스한 장면이나 감초 역할을 하는 인물을 뜻합니다. 일상에서도 무거운 현실의 스트레스를 날려주는 가벼운 웃음을 가리킬 때 자주 쓰입니다. 9-3. U.S. and Iran signed to end military operations. CBC's flagship news program, The National, broadcast detailed coverage confirming that the United States and Iran have officially signed a 14-point agreement to end military operations. This monumental diplomatic breakthrough effectively halts months of escalating tensions and violent clashes that had brought the Middle East to the brink of widespread war. While the specifics of the complex 14-point pact are still unfolding, officials indicate it lays crucial groundwork for immediate de-escalation and subsequent nuclear negotiations. In the same evening broadcast, the program shifted to pressing domestic issues within Canada. Anchors discussed urgent calls urging the federal government to indefinitely exclude individuals suffering solely from mental illness from accessing medical assistance in dying, MAID, highlighting a profound ongoing ethical debate. Vocabulary. Flagship. Noun. Flagship. 주력의, 간판 상품의. The smartphone is the company's newest flagship model. Breakthrough. Noun. Breakthrough. 돌파구, 큰 발전. Scientists made a major breakthrough in renewable energy. Brink. Noun. Brink. 직전, 벼랑 끝. The two opposing nations were driven to the brink of nuclear war. Unfold. Verb. Unfold. 전개되다, 밝혀지다. We watched the drama unfold live on the television news program. De-escalation. Noun. De-escalation. 긴장 완화, 단계적 축소. Diplomatic talks were held to ensure the de-escalation of the conflict. Indefinitely. Adverb. Indefinitely. 무기한으로. The outdoor concert has been postponed indefinitely due to the storm. Exclude. Verb. Exclude. 제외하다, 배제하다. Children under the age of 10 are excluded from this activity. Profound. Adjective. Profound. 깊은, 심오한. The philosopher's book had a profound impact on my thinking. MAID. Medical assistance in dying. 위학적 조력 사망, 존엄사. 회복 불가능한 심각한 질병이나 장애로 극심한 고통을 겪는 환자가 의사의 도움을 받아 스스로 생을 마감할 수 있도록 허용하는 캐나다의 합법적 제도입니다.
최근 신체적 질병이 아닌 우울증 등 정신질환 환자에게도 이를 허용할 것인지를 두고 엄청난 윤리적 찬반 논쟁이 벌어지고 있습니다.
10. DD India 10-1. PM Modi extends invitation to global businesses at VivaTech 2026. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended a highly compelling invitation to global innovators and startups during his keynote address at VivaTech 2026, Europe's largest technology and startup event held in Paris. Emphasizing the overarching theme, work with India and deliver for all, Modi proudly highlighted India's rapid digital transformation and its unparalleled status as the world's largest talent pool. He showcased the nation's robust digital public infrastructure, pointing out that half of the world's real-time digital transactions now occur via India's Unified Payments Interface, UPI. To further attract foreign capital, the Prime Minister announced that the Indian government is continuously streamlining regulations and offering targeted business incentives exceeding $50 billion. This proactive diplomatic pitch reinforces India's fierce ambition to cement itself as the central hub for global tech innovation. Vocabulary. Compelling. Adjective. 설득력 있는. 강력한. The prosecutor presented a compelling argument to the jury. Overarching. Adjective. 대단히 중요한. 포괄적인. The overarching theme of the conference was environmental sustainability. Unparalleled. Adjective. 비할 데 없는. 독보적인. The athlete achieved an unparalleled record in Olympic history. Robust. Adjective. 튼튼한. 강력한. The company reported a robust 20% growth in quarterly sales. Streamline. Verb. 간소화하다. 능률화하다. We must streamline our administrative processes to save time. Targeted. Adjective. 맞춤형의. 표적화된. The agency launched a targeted marketing campaign for teenagers. Pitch. Noun. 홍보. 투자 유치용 발표. The entrepreneur delivered a brilliant sales pitch to the investors. Cement. Verb. 확고히 하다. 결속시키다. The victory cemented his reputation as the world's best player. 시사용어 해설. Digital Public Infrastructure, DPI, Digital 공공 인프라, 도로, 항구 등 전통적인 물리적 인프라처럼 국민과 기업이 효율적으로 경제 활동을 할 수 있도록 정부가 깔아놓은 디지털 기반, 신분 인증 시스템, 전자결제 네트워크 등을 의미합니다. 인도의 독자적인 간편 결제 시스템인 UPI가 대표적 성공 사례입니다. Number 10. 2. India and France to launch Trishna satellite in 2027. During his comprehensive visit to France, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi officially announced that India and France will jointly launch the highly anticipated Trishna satellite in 2027. This collaborative aerospace mission is explicitly designed to monitor critical environmental changes, fundamentally contributing to global water resource management and food security. During his public address, Modi passionately emphasized that this advanced technological partnership between New Delhi and Paris is absolutely vital for the sustainable progress of our planet. He further noted that India is actively building an entire ecosystem of the future by pouring strategic investments across various cutting-edge sectors. The joint satellite endeavor stands as a shining symbol of the two nations' expanding strategic alliance in confronting escalating global climate challenges. Vocabulary. Collaborative. Adjective. 협력적인. 공동의. The software was built through a collaborative effort of 50 engineers. Explicitly. Adverb. 명시적으로. 분명하게. I explicitly told them not to share the confidential documents. Fundamentally. Adverb. 근본적으로. The invention of the smartphone fundamentally changed how we communicate. Sustainable. Adjective. 지속 가능한. We need to transition to more sustainable sources of energy. Pour. Verb. 쏟아붓다. 마구 흘러들다. Investors continue to pour millions of dollars into AI startups. Cutting edge. Adjective. 최첨단의. This medical facility is equipped with cutting-edge surgical robots. Endeavor. Noun. 시도. 노력. Project. Writing a novel is a long, creative endeavor requiring immense focus. Confront. Verb. 문제나 힘든 상황에 맞서다. 직면하다. We must bravely confront the environmental crisis before it's too late. 시사용어 해설. Food security. 식량 안보. 국가의 인구가 언제나 영양가 있고 안전한 식량을 충분히 구하고 소비할 수 있는 상태를 말합니다.
기후변화에 따른 극심한 가뭄이나 전쟁 등으로 식량 공급망이 끊길 위험이 커지면서 전지구적인 핵심 생존 과제로 부상했습니다.
10.3. Paris is city of lights and colors. PM Modi to Indian diaspora to Indian diaspora. Addressing a massive, enthusiastic gathering of the Indian diaspora in Paris, Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised the French capital as the city of lights and colors, emphasizing that it perfectly embodies ideas and inspiration. He highlighted that the strong presence of Indians, originating from diverse states like Tamil Nadu, Punjab, and Gujarat, adds vibrant new hues to the city's cultural fabric and acts as a vital bridge strengthening the India-France strategic partnership. During his speech, Modi proudly recounted India's transformative trajectory over his 12 years in office, noting that the fastest-growing major economy has successfully lifted 250 million people out of poverty. The diaspora members expressed profound emotion and pride, stating that the Prime Minister's presence made them feel deeply connected to their homeland. Vocabulary. Enthusiastic. Adjective. 열광적인, 열렬한. The singer was greeted by an enthusiastic crowd at the airport. Embody. Verb. 구현하다, 상징하다. The new architectural design perfectly embodies modern elegance. Vibrant. Adjective. 활기찬, 생기가 넘치는. The city is famous for its vibrant nightlife and diverse food scene. Fabric. Noun. 직물, 사회의, 구조, 바탕. Small businesses are an essential part of the economic fabric. Recount. Verb. 자기가 겪은 일을 이야기하다. My grandfather loves to recount tales from his childhood. Transformative. Adjective. 변화시키는, 혁명적인. The invention of the internet had a transformative effect on society. Trajectory. Noun. 궤적, 발전 과정. The startup is on a steep upward trajectory towards success. Profound. Adjective. 깊은, 심오한. The artist's work had a profound impact on my perspective of lifetime. Diaspora. 본래 팔레스타인을 떠나 온 세상에 흩어져 살게 된 유대인들을 일컫는 말이었으나 현재는 고국을 떠나 다른 나라에 정착해 살면서도 원래의 민족적, 문화적 정체성을 잃지 않고 살아가는 이민자 집단 전체를 폭넓게 가리키는 용어입니다.